Hello all and welcome to this hands-on lab. In our lab today, you will learn how to import your own key material for a CMK. Couple of things to keep in mind before we proceed further ahead. Using AWS services leveraged in this lab might incur charges. Hence, ensure that you clean up all resources after completing this lab. Prerequisites for this hands-on lab is knowledge of AWS KMS. In case you do not know what this service is all about, please refer to these tutorials that I had created some time back. Scenario for our hands-on lab. You have been tasked to create a CMK, that is a customer master key, importing key material that you supply. Okay, so it's a pretty simple, straightforward scenario. Reference URLs. Please review through these two URLs that I have shared on the screen. I'll have them posted in the description of this video as well. But some of the steps that we are going to leverage in the tutorial in this particular hands-on lab today are from these two articles. So let me switch real quick. So this is the first article, importing key material, right? And as you see, it has step-by-step explanation as to how you can go about doing something like this. Along with that, we have this other article, import keys to KMS. And again, this also talks about how to go about creating your own key material and then importing that for your own CMK. So do refer to these two articles, guys. They are pretty good. Let us begin. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to provision an EC2 instance and create a user, right? And the username is going to be KMS user. So let us start with provisioning a T2 Micro Linux EC2 instance with public IP enabled and port 22 open. Once you provision your EC2 instance, ensure that your copy is public IP address. So let me switch to my AWS console. So it's right here, running instances and launch instance. Okay, select this one. T2 micro is fine. Instance details, we want public IP enabled. Storage, we are going to keep it as default. Tags, if you want any. Security group. So remember that you have to keep port 22 open. Now you can go ahead and create a new security group, or like me, if you have an existing security group, which I do, you can use that. Now this particular security group has 80 and 22 both open. All that you need for this hands-on lab is 22. But in case you have some other ports, and you want to reuse your security group like me, feel free to do that. Let's go ahead and launch. And this is our key pair, launch instances. And our instance should be up and running in a few minutes, right? Okay, so we have provisioned this instance. We are yet to copy its public IP address. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and create an IAM user name, KMS user, okay? With the default policy, this is the default policy, okay? And once this user has been created, we will copy these attributes. So let's go ahead. And where is IAM? There's IAM. Okay, go to users, click on add user. Okay, and we are going to give this username as KMS user. We are going to give this user programmatic access and console access, right? We are going to give it a custom password. So I'm going to give a password, let's say KMS user 123, something like that. Show me the password. And the user must not create the new password at next sign in. So I'm going to copy this password. Okay, so where is my notepad? So username is KMS user. Password is, this is the password. Okay. Next, permissions. Attach existing policy directly. And I'm going to just type KMS. Okay. Key. I'm just going to select this particular policy. Next, review, create a user. And this user should be created shortly. Now ensure that you copy a secret access key, right? So go down, say secret access key right there, and access key ID. There you go. I think we copied the password, secret access key, and access key ID. Awesome. So we have basically completed these steps. And what we need to do still is we need to go back to our EC2 instance. Hopefully it should be up and running now. And we need to copy its public IP address. So EC2 IP, it's running. There it is. And that is the public IP address. Okay, so we copied our EC2 instance's public IP address. So we have completed all of these steps. Next thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a CMK. And this is going to be a symmetric CMK, right? Leveraging the AWS console. And these are some of the parameters that you need to keep in mind. After this particular CMK is created, ensure that you copy its key ID. Okay, so go back, services, key management service. Customer manage keys. Create a key. So it's going to be a asymmetric key. Now remember what were some of the parameters. For key material, you need to ensure that it is external and acknowledge the checkbox at the bottom. You need to provide an alias over here and make KMS user the administrator. Okay, so go back, select external. This is the checkbox, just check, acknowledge that. Next, provide an alias. What alias we are going to give? My CMK demo key, maybe. Okay, and next, KMS user is going to be the administrator. Next, you can pretty much select any account that you want over here. So just select any one. Next, and now come down and look at the key policy. So scroll down. What you're looking for over here is this KMS user. And you want to ensure that it has the right to import key material. So this particular permission should be available to this particular user. It should be able to import key material because that's what we are trying to do right now. Okay, finish. Okay, and click cancel over here. In my CMK, where is my key? Right here. That's my key. This is the key ID. So go ahead and copy this particular key ID. Copy and paste it here, key ID. Okay, so we are good. And we have completed all of these steps. Next. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to configure this KMS user on our EC2 instance so that it can use CLI. And how are we going to do that? We are going to SSH into our EC2 instance using PuTTY, and we are going to log in leveraging the EC2-user. And then after that, we are going to execute this AWS configure command. So let's do that. This is my PuTTY right here. Let me go back and copy the IP address. So this is my EC2's public IP address. Paste it there. Change the appearance if you want to. I typically tend to do that, especially for the recording. SSH, auth, private key. This is my private key, open. Yes, EC2-user. Okay, so we are logged in. So we completed this step. Now the next thing that we need to do is execute command AWS configure and configure KMS user on this machine. So AWS configure. Okay, now go ahead and copy its access key ID. This is the access key ID. Secret access key. So the secret access key. Region is going to be US. For me, it is US East 1. You can keep whatever region your key is in. Ensure it's the same region. And output format is fine, so just leave it, right? So we have completed these steps. Okay, what are we going to do next? We are going to download the public key and import the token, right? And how are we going to do that? We are going to do that leveraging this particular command. So let me just quickly go to that particular slide. There it is. I'm going to copy this, right? Okay, copy this and paste it right here. Okay, so this is the command, guys, right? And what you need to do is you need to replace your key ID right here. So this is our key ID. Take this key ID, copy it here, and then copy this whole command. So Control C, go back over here, paste it right there, and hit enter. Now, ensure that you copy this entire encoding. So this is the base 64 encoding or the information that has just popped out, which contains your public key and your import token so that you can import this key material. Ensure that you copy it carefully. So just go up, right? Go up, scroll up, right there. That's where it ends. Hit enter. Go back to your notepad. Paste it right there, right? And this is our information right here. What are we going to do next? So we have completed this step. What we are going to do now is we are going to take this output and create two separate files named public key base 64 and import token base 64, okay? And copy the corresponding keys into it. So let's see how we do that. Okay, so go back over here. Okay, if you want, you can clear the screen. Now create a file called as public key.b64, right? So this is the command for that. Just vim and the file name, hit enter. Now go back to your notepad and copy this public key without the quotes, as you see how I have highlighted it, right? So just copy it, go back over here, right click, escape, :WQ, hit enter. Similarly, we are going to create another file, right? So we are going to create import token.b64, hit enter. And this is where you see import token right there. Just copy this completely. There you go, copy and paste it right here, right click, escape, :WQ, and there you go. So we have basically created these two files and separated out our public key and our import token. Now, one thing that I want to mention over here is I created this public key and import token using this particular wrapping algorithm, right? So it's SHA-1. Now, in case you happen to use, let's say 256, ensure that whatever algorithm that you use here, right, to kind of extract this information, right, that's your public key and import token, you use the same algorithm while you are encrypting your key material. If you don't do that, you will get errors. So if you get errors, just go back and check what your algorithm is and ensure that it's the same. In my case, I'm using SHA-1. And that's what this note is all about. This is important. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to convert this base 64 information to binary. So we're going to just convert this data. Okay, and for that, these are the two commands, right? We are going to create two files, public key bin and import token.bin. And these are the two commands to do that. So let me quickly go ahead and copy this particular command, right? So these are the two commands right here. I'm going to delete this information, right? And we are going to copy this command. So we have our file names correctly. Go back here, paste it right there, and then copy this command, Control C, and paste it right there. Now, if you go and do ls-l, you will see 4 files are right there. So you have your binary base 64 files and binary files as well, right? Okay, so we have basically completed these steps. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to encrypt our key material. And we are going to leverage OpenSSL for this. Now, both the articles mention that if you're doing this in production, do not use OpenSSL, right? Use something else, right? You can use pretty much anything. I'm not going to prescribe anything at this time, but don't avoid using this. This is just one way of encrypting your key material. You can pretty much use anything else, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to leverage OpenSSL to basically generate binary key material and then encrypt it using our public key right here, right? So the command to generate that symmetric key is this. And that key is going to be saved in this particular file, right? So we are going to first generate that key material and then we are going to leverage our public key to encrypt it. So let's copy this particular command, right? It's right there. So I'm going to copy this particular command and then you can paste it right here. And this should have generated this particular file. So if you see, it's right there, third one, right? Okay, so our basic file has been created, but it's not yet encrypted. And to encrypt that file, we will have to execute this command, right? So I'm going to go ahead and copy this particular command. Copy this command and go back to your notepad. Okay, and you probably want to get this in one line. I just kept these parameters separate, but if you see, this is the key material file that you created, which is not encrypted. This is your out file, which is the encrypted key, your public key that you are going to use for encryption, right? And then you have some additional parameters, the fact that you want to actually perform encryption, your RSA padding, and remember to keep the algorithm same, right? So if you remember, we had this wrapping algorithm over here as SHA-1. If you note, I have the same algorithm over here as well, while I am encrypting this key material. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this command. Go back here, clear. Uh-oh. Okay, clear this. Okay, now hopefully this should be good. Okay, so it looks like it accepted our command and our encrypted key material should now be available. Right, so let's do ls minus l. And that's our encrypted key material right there. Okay, so let's move ahead. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to now import our key material, right? So we have completed majority of our steps. This is the last step. So we have created our CMK, we created our key material, we encrypted our key material, everything is ready. The last step is to import it back to our key. And this is the command for that. So let me quickly run down over here and copy this particular command and come back to our notepad. So if you have got everything right, like especially all the algorithms and everything, you should be fine with this particular step. What you need to do over here is you need to replace your key ID. So let's copy your key ID. So copy, paste, ensure there's space. This is your encrypted key material right there. This is your import token. And if you want, you can mention the expiration date. If you don't want to mention, then just say key material does not expire, right? So anyways, I'm just going to copy this and clear the screen, paste it right there. And our key material was imported successfully. Let us go and validate that. So customer manage keys. Let's go to page 2. So this is not our key. Our key was my CMK. There it is. Okay, this is the key. If you go to key material, you will see this is the time that we gave. External and key material does expire. So our key material was imported successfully, right, guys? Okay, so this is the final step. We have successfully created a CMK and imported our own key material to it, right? So guys, I hope that this tutorial was helpful. Do practice this lab, do practice typing those commands, okay? I mean, the more you do it, the faster you will learn. They're pretty straightforward. There's nothing crazy. Once you get a hang of it, you can easily type them out real fast, right? I hope that this is really helpful to you guys. And this is pretty much it from me for today, guys. I will see you shortly in some other video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.